Okie dokie. Let's sit down and get comfortable. This is going to be going on the Helmethairr YouTube channel. It's been a minute. What's going on, Internet? Welcome back to my YouTube channel. It's been a minute since I've gotten to say that. Oh, man. Okay. Now that I'm comfortable, welcome back. I know it's been a while. I haven't gotten to talk to you guys in so long. But I got some shit to say, and that's why I'm here today, okay? But I guess I'll start off with giving you guys a little bit of life updates in case if you have missed them. So number one, obviously, I'm sure you guys are really confused as to the kind of setting that we're sitting in, because this is not what you're used to seeing. You guys are usually used to seeing me in a garage, working on my car, or at a racetrack, driving my car, and right now we're sitting in my podcast studio, which is probably new news to you, unless if you actually follow me on my other account, which not a lot of you do. So I'll give you guys a little bit of a life update here. Number one, you guys know that I moved to the East Coast. I'm here. I'm in New Jersey right now currently. Originally, I was flying back and forth between California and New Jersey quite a bit, so I wasn't like technically saying that I moved. But I've just been here chilling for like a while, okay? Because the movie industry is been on strike for a really long time, and I'm just gonna chill here until it decides to pick back up again. Number two, you guys saw that I sold the race car. Probably one of the last times that I talked to you guys, I sold the race car, and that's still true. I have no idea where the race car is. Unfortunately, I have no idea if it still has the same engine in it. I don't fucking know anything, quite honestly. And that is a-okay with me. I saw a couple of pictures of it shortly after I sold the race car. Just a couple of my friends saw it at a shop, I guess, that the car ended up living at, and I haven't seen it since then, and that is fine, because that was honestly the biggest weight lifted off of my shoulders. I love that car because it got me to where I am today, but it honestly was a fucking headache and a half, and you guys know that damn well. Number three, I think one of the last videos that I posted, I was bringing the Datsun to my shop that I have over here in New Jersey, which is called The Hideout. Yes, I said shop in New Jersey, which is wild for me to even think about, because I never in a million years would have thought that I would have a shop. Okay. And I'm sure you guys are probably very confused, and you guys are probably like, okay, well, if you have a shop, then why the fuck aren't you posting videos? What have you been doing? Have you been like working on your cars and just not showing us and not filming it anymore? Not the case. My heart has not been in it recently, and obviously, as I'm sure you guys can probably guess, with the fact that I just said the movie industry has been on strike for a while, I'm not making a whole lot of money like I was before, because I used to work all the time, and now I'm not working as much. So with limited finances comes limited flexibility when it comes to modifying my car, okay? I have to prioritize, because I am a fucking adult, okay? I'm 28 years old. Speaking of 28 years old, I turned 28 on June 28th, which was a very big day for me. That was a champagne birthday, which I have been looking forward to ever since I learned what a champagne birthday was. Okay. And I figured that out when I was like 18. So this is a birthday that has been anticipated for the past 10 years of my life. And I did something really cool to commemorate my birthday. And that is I released a podcast. I've wanted to have a podcast for fucking years. I think way back when I worked on Batwoman, when I was in Canada for like the 9 months or whatever that I was there for, was the first time that I ever thought about releasing a podcast. And I had so many people telling me to please release a podcast. Like, so many people asking me to create a podcast, and I wanted to, but I knew that I didn't want to have solely a motorsports podcast. Like, I just wanted to do something more than that and something bigger than that. Not saying that motorsports aren't important or they aren't big, but like, I just wanted to be able to have a better opportunity to spread whatever message it was that I wanted to spread, and to be able to talk about other things in life that I felt like were important to me that weren't just motorsports. So I'd never created one because I didn't have an idea of exactly what I wanted to do, but I knew I didn't want it to just be motorsports based. And now I finally have one, and I'm very happy with where I'm at. And it is literally one of my favorite things that I've ever done for myself in my entire life. And I just see this having like a lot of longevity, and I can't wait to talk to you guys about it a little bit. But before we get into that, we got to talk some shit, okay? As you guys know, I haven't been on the internet in a while. Well, on YouTube, in this corner of the internet in a while. And that is because I don't like to do things when my heart isn't in it. okay? Because I feel like that's very inauthentic. So something that I think that I have tried my best to communicate to you guys on my YouTube channel is that I didn't want to be inauthentic, and I didn't want to do something if I didn't want to do it, quite frankly. So for me, that meant not creating videos when I didn't feel like it. And not when I didn't feel like it because I was lazy or because of whatever, but if I wasn't actually excited about a modification, I'm not going to film it and show it to you guys. Like, it just didn't, I don't like curated content. I like actual highlights and real special exciting moments that I can share in excitement with another creator or with the other person on the other side of the screen over. I don't like mindless, mind-numbing content that's just because someone is trying to pay their bills. And I understand that all of us have to pay our bills, but that's just not the way that I liked to create my own content, and I was very fortunate to be able to operate in that way. So with my YouTube channel, especially because I wasn't really making a lot of money off of it, I just didn't want to create like something just to put it out, just to get the numbers. You know what I mean? Like, I didn't want to do something just for the views and just to get my channel to grow. I really wanted to share the shit that was really exciting to me and stuff that I felt like was worth sharing. Got into a little bit of a habit of like creating content all the time because I felt like at one point people were like very invested in the car that I was building, and I felt like I had to show every single step of the way, but that was because I was building a car that I was excited about. So that's kind of where I landed with creating content, okay? So once the race car got sold, obviously, my source of entertainment was pretty much gone, okay? And it's not because I wasn't driving anymore, didn't have any other cool cars. Like, I still have my Corvette. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I could have used that for creating content. But like I said, I don't like to curate content. So with that being said, the Datsun that you guys saw move into my shop, haven't done anything new to it. Okay. And that's because, again, like I said, I have to be financially responsible. And number two, like, my heart just hasn't been in it to modifying that car at this moment. So, you know, it's whatever. It really isn't that big of a deal. I think that I'll get to that car when I get to it, and that's okay. And I think that you guys know that I have a very rough relationship with that car, for the reason being Tiara. That car was a dedication to her when I decided that I was going to build it, because she named the car. And I've just been having a really rough time even being able to work on it. I still cry every time that I work on it, so it's been a little bit hard for me. The Corvette, quite honestly, I don't really feel the need to modify the Corvette. Corvette's perfect the way that it is. Like, I think that Chevy did a great job from the factory. Not saying that I'll never do anything to modify it, but right now it's not my priority, okay? I also got a Jeep. By the way, I got a Jeep Wrangler. I don't know if you guys knew that or not. I'm absolutely fucking in love with that thing. But let's move on from the car talk, because we got other shit to talk about today, okay? Now, what I was just saying to you guys is that I wanted to be able to do something bigger and better with the content that I was creating, and be able to spread whatever message I felt like was important through my content, and not just be curating content for the hell of it, okay, just to entertain people. Because it's important to entertain people, but I think it's also really important to educate people as well. And that's something that I really liked about my YouTube channel, is I felt like I was constantly learning and educating at the same time, because when I was learning something new, you guys were learning something new, which I really appreciated that we were able to like have that relationship together. And I do want to say I'm so thankful that you guys, my YouTube audience specifically, was always so kind and so supportive of me learning new things. And like, you guys were just really, really encouraging me every single step along the way. And I didn't get that on a lot of other platforms. And that's part of the reason that I kind of like abandoned Helmethairr as a whole. So if you guys didn't notice, my Helmethairr Instagram account, pretty much inactive. Like, it's sitting there because I still like to have all the memories and stuff on that account that I originally created through that account, but I don't use it anymore. And I'm going to be honest with you, that account was really rough for me, because every time that I would ever post anything else that I was interested in, nobody wanted to see that shit. My engagement was down every single time that I would post anything that didn't have to do with the race car or one of my cars or me in a car of some way, shape, or form. And I do more with my life than just living in a car, okay? Not saying that motorsports are not a huge part of my life, because obviously they are, and it was, but there's more to me than just motorsports, okay? And so for me, my Helmethairr account, I kind of got like a really weird like relationship with my Helmethairr account, because every time that I posted something that wasn't just me with a car, I was either getting shit on for it or my engagement was extremely low. And unfortunately, I also had other like industry professionals following me on that account. And then I also had sponsors following me on that account as well. And so it made me feel like I was constantly under a microscope in the wrong way. Like I felt like I was doing something wrong every time that I was posting something and I wasn't getting enough engagement on it. And I cannot say this loud enough. Your views do not determine your value, okay? That is something that I had to drill into my own head over the past like year and a half or 2 years, because I grew such a poor relationship with my Helmethairr account, which is so sad because I worked so hard to get that account to where it was. But your views don't determine your value. And like that's something that I really like didn't realize back then, because every time that I would like post something and it wasn't doing the average that my other posts were doing and it was doing worse or like more poorly, I wanted to have a meltdown. Like I was like, I don't know what I did wrong. Was it the algorithm? Was it me? Was it the time that I posted it? Did people not like this? Did I say something wrong? Did I not do something? Like just exhausting. Okay. So anyways, I wanted to do something bigger and better with my content than just me. Because the thing with my Helmethairr account was I always felt like the spotlight was just on me all the time. And like this was the most important thing in my corner of the world, was just me. And it felt extremely self-centered. And like I didn't feel like I gave a fuck about anything or anyone else. And I'm not saying that like me as a person, I didn't feel that way, but I didn't feel like it looked that way or that anyone else would be able to tell that except for me. And I got a little self-conscious of like being so full of myself, it seemed like. And I also like, I'm an artist. I really give a fuck about art. Like I really have been like this since I was a child, and I felt like that part of me was not being honored anymore. I picked up a camera when I was 12 years old because I wanted to help my dad. So the first thing that I wanted to do was help, and I felt like that was something that I was going to be able to learn. So I helped my dad, and I learned how to edit so that I could help him edit his demo reel. By the time that I learned how to edit, he was fucking done with that demo reel, but that's not the point. So I started editing when I was like 12 years old, and I thought that I wanted to be a video editor. So that's what I went to college for. I went to New York Film Academy to become a video editor. I studied filmmaking and lighting and directing and editing and all kinds of shit. I have certifications in so many things when it comes to filmmaking, okay? And I had to edit other people's footage. Did not like that shit. I was like, this is not for me. I love editing my own stuff and other people's stuff that I know exactly what's going on. But when I don't have enough communication between me and the person that actually shot the footage, I do not like trying to interpret what this person was trying to do. So I decided that wasn't really the route for me. Then I took a little bit of a break from school for like a couple months, transferred to a different school, and then I was studying photography because I fell in love with photography at that point, because I was like, wow, I have so much more control over this than I do when I work with video. And so my point is I've always been an artist, and I don't feel like my art was being honored because I was so focused on like myself. I wasn't even focused on that, which is what you guys are right now, my camera that I'm looking at. And also I felt like I couldn't create art by filming myself, quite honestly, because I can't be behind the camera. The camera has to literally sit on a tripod or like on a slider or some shit. And like, I just have to deal with it. And I couldn't create what I wanted to create in my head over here because I was so busy being here. So it was just a weird like balance that I was kind of dealing with. Now, anyway, like I was saying, I really wanted to be able to create content that was bigger than me, because I don't feel like I am the biggest, baddest fucking thing that always needs all the attention, right? If there's something that I feel passionate about that I feel like other people should get to experience along with me, I want to be able to have a platform to do that. And I was so grateful for the platform that I had, specifically YouTube. Okay, because you guys have always been extremely nice to me and super encouraging, and I really appreciate you guys for that. Like, I will literally start crying. So I always wanted to have a platform that was going to be able, you know, to be an outlet for me to present whatever it is that I want to present to the world. And I felt like Helmethairr wasn't that, because if it wasn't about my goddamn car, no one wanted to hear it. Like, literally no one wanted to hear it. I could have been like, I found the cure to cancer, and people would be like, where's the race car? Like, are you fucking kidding me? It was so annoying. So I ended up deciding that I was going to create a private account, which I did. I was very happy about that. And I had, you know, my friends and family following me on my private account. And then unfortunately, a lot of people from Helmethairr found my private account, and I was overwhelmed the amount of people that wanted to follow me, but also like overly joyed. So I opened my account up to being public so that people could follow me if they wanted to, not follow me if they didn't feel like it, whatever. I realized that that corner of the world was so much better for me and my mental health than Helmethairr ever was. And so I decided that I was going to stop posting on Helmethairr because, quite honestly, I didn't have anything to post. And I didn't want to curate content. So I just wasn't going to do that. So Helmethairr kind of becomes inactive. Unfortunately, so does my YouTube channel. As much as I love my YouTube channel and I love you guys, I didn't want to curate content, and I wanted to do something bigger and better than just myself, as I've said for the millionth fucking time. That's how we got to where I am sitting today. This is my podcast studio, okay? I'm the host of a podcast now. The podcast name is URL versus IRL, and I really hope that you guys get a chance to check it out. I'll give you a little bit of a rundown of what the podcast is about really quickly. So number one, URL. We already know what that stands for. Well, actually, you guys don't probably know what the actual acronym stands for. It stands for Uniform Resource Locator, okay? But URL is basically the link at the top of your browser when you're going to type in a web address so that you can go directly to something, okay? So URL I decided to use as an acronym for, like, the internet, okay? An internet page, a page on the internet, something that you're going to look up and watch and look at through your screen. Versus IRL, which we all know is in real life, because that's probably one of the first acronyms we ever learned. Because if you're anything like me, you're probably a millennial or maybe you're Gen Z. And that was one of the first acronyms that we came up with when texting began, was IRL. So basically it's internet versus real life. So what I'm doing with URL versus IRL, I created it because my time as an influencer, my automotive influencer days, and I'm using air quotes because, like, I think my Helmethairr account was up to like 30,000 followers or something. And to me, that's a lot of fucking people. Obviously, I think my YouTube channel has like 12,000 subscribers, maybe 14,000. I can't remember off the top of my head. But numbers don't determine your value, like I said before. Whew. So, my Helmethairr account had like 30,000 followers, like I said. And to me, that's a lot of fucking people. But unfortunately, what I felt like was happening was I was constantly comparing myself to my direct peers in my corner of the internet and in my niche of the internet. And that was a really toxic thing for me to do, because all of us are posting this polished, finished, pretty picture online and kind of competing for likes. Okay. And it was exhausting. I will be very honest and tell you that it was really extremely exhausting. But also I felt like it was really bad for my mental health, because I was constantly comparing myself to other creators that were much bigger creators than I was, but I was friends with them, like literally directly friends with them. And so I was comparing myself to them, especially because sometimes I would either like be in their videos or be directly in their vicinity, or like we would be texting or like whatever. And I was not as big and bad as them, which is fine. Like, I don't think I needed to be as big and bad as them. And I'm actually kind of glad that I wasn't, now that I'm here today where I am. So when I realized that I was doing that, I started thinking about the people that were watching me. And I realized that the image that I was constantly portraying was no good for other people's mental health either. Because if it's bad for me, imagine how bad it is for someone else on the other side of the screen looking at what I'm doing. Okay? Because what I was presenting online was an unrealistic expectation of what my day-to-day life was really like. I mean, not super unrealistic, because like I was working on my car 90% of the time, and I was actually working on my car like until it was getting dark outside. Also, I'm sorry if the lighting keeps changing. Like, the fucking clouds are just doing their thing right now, and I didn't feel like setting up all the lights for the podcast studio. I just was like, I'm going to use a natural window light, and like here I am now struggling and hoping that you guys are not annoyed by the lighting changing. But anyway, I I started realizing that, like, if it was bad for me to look at my direct peers and see how well they were doing and, like, how well their numbers were and all that kind of thing, imagine, like, you know, Sam sitting at home with 50 followers, like, wanting to get into cars, you know, and, like, watching me work on 10 million cars at one time and, like, have this whole garage to myself to be able to work on everything and, like, towing my race car to the track with my van and with my trailer and this and that and blah, 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 blah. It's like keeping up with the fucking Joneses. It's exhausting. And I also felt like the internet, like, just posting, like, polished, finished version of everything on the internet is really not doing good for anyone's mental health, because all of us are thinking that reality is, like, these aesthetic fucking photos on Instagram, and that's just not realistic. And I feel like the internet is not going anywhere anytime soon. And because of my own personal relationship with the internet, I wanted to be able to create something that was gonna give us a better relationship with the internet as we know it. So what URL versus IRL is basically internet versus reality, but as a direct comparison, but in a good way, not in the bad way. So what I do every week on the podcast is I bring in a guest. Sometimes I just do a podcast by myself. That's what I'm supposed to be doing today. But then I got so fucking pissed off from this email that I got earlier that I'm going to read to you guys in a second. So I'll bring in a guest like every week, and I put out episodes every week is what I should say. And I normally bring a guest in and we'll sit down and we'll talk about what they do on the internet versus what it looks like realistically, because I'm trying to reset realistic expectations, because I think that that's what's going to be best for us as a society. Try saying that 3 times fast. Holy shit. So I'm trying to reset realistic expectations for us, because that's probably what's going to be best for us as a society. So, for example, I'll give you an example of a couple of the episodes that I've uploaded. Joining the military. That was a big one. Okay. Joining the military, I feel like a lot of us have this like expectation of what it's going to be like to join the military and go through basic training and all that other kind of stuff, because we've seen it in movies and TV shows and blah, blah, blah. We actually had 2 guests on the podcast that were Air Force members that talked to us about joining the military and then what it's like to actually be in the fucking military versus what it looks like in the movies and TV shows that we see military members and service members in. Okay? Big difference between what we see on our screens and what's actually going on in real life. Okay. Another person that I talked to that was a very fun, interesting episode was a friend of mine that used to be a private investigator. That was wild. He gave us a really good example of what his day-to-day looked like as a private investigator versus the kind of shit that we see on TV when we think of private investigators like Ginny in Georgia, which is a very good TV show, by the way. If you haven't gotten a chance to watch it, I highly suggest it. And then I also suggest that you listen to the episode that he was on. I think it was episode 7. But yeah, I talked to him. I recently talked to a friend of mine that is a social worker, and we talked about what people think of social workers. When you think social worker, you usually probably think baby snatcher, which is not the reality, versus what they actually do for a living and how much they're actually helping people. So I guess my point of saying all of this is that what we're seeing online is not real. The internet is not fucking real. And I think that we say that enough, but I don't think it's actually taken literally. I think it's taken very figuratively. And I think that all of us just kind of have this weird, like, the internet's not real, ha ha ha. And then we just like keep going on and like posting our pretty aesthetics pictures, and like everybody just kind of expects that that's what reality is actually like. And like, I can't tell you how many people have a horrible relationship with the internet because of doom scrolling on TikTok and Instagram, you know? And that's something that I really liked about YouTube. I feel like YouTube was the nicest platform I ever was a part of. YouTube was by far my favorite platform to ever be on, but it was a lot of work. And I loved the fact that on YouTube, I felt like I never really got any hate. There were a couple videos that like went a little bit viral that I got like a little bit of hate on, just because people love to have shit to say. But realistically, like my general YouTube audience, like however many of you there are watching this video right now and that are subscribed to my YouTube channel, you guys really fucking loved me. And you guys really supported me and really encouraged me every step along the way, no matter what I needed. And I really, really appreciate you guys for that. And I miss you guys every day. I talk to you guys, to my partner all the time. I talk to him about you guys. And I miss being on this platform. Something that I've actually considered is uploading my podcast on my YouTube channel. So I don't know if you guys would be into that kind of thing. Please let me know in the comment below. Haha. Sorry, fucking influencer shit. Yeah, let me know in the comment section below if you guys would actually be interested in me uploading URL versus IRL episodes on YouTube, because I would absolutely fucking love to do that. Can't promise that I'm going to start doing it right away if you guys do want that, but I will tell you that I am well on my way to being able to do that, because if you guys remember my old YouTube editor, Mitchell, he was editing my YouTube videos when I was still Helmethairr, and I emailed him recently asking him if he would be willing to help me editing the podcast and editing maybe like skip count episodes or helping me with social media stuff, and he seemed really down. He's really busy until the end of August right now, so he and I will explore that when we get a chance. But if you guys want me to upload the videos on YouTube, I'm already doing basically what I'm doing right now, where I have a camera set up and I do the podcast and everything like that. And usually when I have a guest, I do a dual camera setup and all that kind of stuff. So we could absolutely upload the YouTube videos. I mean, we can absolutely upload the podcast on YouTube. Right now, I'm just not doing it because it's too much work for me as one individual person to do all the time, because these episodes end up being like 2 fucking hours long. So once Mitchell and I actually start working together, that's probably something that we could accomplish. Just let me know in the comment section below, seriously. But anyways, YouTube was my favorite platform, okay? And I felt like you guys were the kindest audience that I ever had, and I really felt like you guys were my family, and I'm so sorry if you felt like I abandoned you. I didn't mean to do that. I tried my best to announce multiple times that I had like a new handle that I was going under, and that I was kind of like gonna be really inactive on Helmethairr. I didn't like deactivate my account or anything. I didn't delete it. It's still there because I just enjoy having the memories from what I created and what I was doing there. But I moved myself over to a different account pretty much. So, you know, hopefully you guys come and follow along on my Lynch IRL account if you haven't gotten a chance to, and URL versus IRL if you're interested in listening to the podcast. But regardless, let me stop fucking promoting. YouTube was my favorite platform. I loved the way that YouTube shaded their creators in comparison to the other platforms, because YouTube was not really punishing in the same way that the other platforms like Instagram and TikTok were. Like Instagram, if you weren't keeping up with the latest and greatest things that they were doing, they don't want to fucking push your stuff. Like right now, if you're not uploading the Instagram Reels, they're not going to show your account to fucking anybody. TikTok, if you're not creating videos in the native app, they're not going to show your shit to anybody. Also, if you post videos that you created for TikTok onto another platform, they figured that shit out really quick, and they're like, we're done. We're not doing this shit anymore. YouTube, on the other hand, I felt like you guys were always here for me every time that I would like have to take a break and come back and that kind of thing or whatever for my mental health. You guys were just the most like real life audience that I had that actually gave a fuck about me, I felt like, as a person, and not just like, me, I need to consume, you need to be doing stuff for me. Like, I really appreciated that about you guys. But let me show you this pretty little fucking email that I got from YouTube this morning. Whew, this is where this is about to take a turn, okay? Whew. Important information about your YouTube partner program status. Ew, you guys are going to hear me read out loud. I'm not a good reader. Wish me luck. Important information about your YouTube partner program status. Hi, Lynch. We noticed you haven't posted any content on your YouTube channel, Lynch, for several months, and have fallen below the eligibility criteria for the YouTube Partner Program, YPP. We know that monetization is important to you as a creator, so we want to let you know that unless you meet the YPP eligibility threshold in the next 30 days, we will disable monetization on Lynch. That shit is in bold. That part's in bold, okay? I'm going to put a little fucking screenshot up here or something. That part is in bold. After that, we will cancel your contract and you will need to reapply for YPP, the YouTube Partner Program. If you're not able to engage on the platform right now, we understand. You can reapply for monetization when your channel meets the YPP eligibility requirements again. If accepted, your access to monetization features and creative support will be reinstated. But it doesn't end there. We recognize that you might be taking a break and encourage you to take the time that you need. During the next 30 days, you can still access the creator support if you have questions. When you're ready to start making content again, feel free to visit YouTube Creators to learn more about growing your channel and building your community. Sincerely, the YouTube team. Okay. Let me talk my shit, okay? You're fucking kidding me, right? You're fucking kidding me. The one platform that I loved the most because I felt like they were fair to their creators, they weren't punishing us, and I just had the best audience that I could have ever asked for. Do you know what that email basically said? Let me break this down into more simplistic terms, okay? That's basically as if, let's say you had a friend that moved, okay? You guys were really good friends at one point, and you were seeing each other all the time. And then your friend moves, and they haven't gotten a chance to really reach out to you in a while because they fucking moved, okay? Life is busy. They're doing a little life shift, whatever. And they just haven't gotten a chance to really reach out to you, talk to you, see how you've been, whatever. So that means that you're going to block them because they haven't reached out to you in a certain period of time, and you're going to give them 30 fucking days to reach out to you before you fucking block them. That's what that shit just said. YouTube is basically like, fuck you, we're blocking you. Not like, fuck you, we're blocking you and you can't post on your page anymore, because obviously I can. But fuck everything that you worked so hard for, because you're not allowed to have it anymore because you're not meeting our standards. Bitch, what? Are you fucking for real? You're actually being serious with me right now. I remember working so fucking hard to get monetized on YouTube. Do you know how many watch hours you need to get monetized on YouTube? You need a lot of fucking hours to get monetized on YouTube. You need to meet a certain requirement to get monetized on YouTube. And then if your channel's like fluctuating or whatever, like they don't really care. They're just kind of like, whatever, like you worked for it. It's fine. We understand. The algorithm changes. It's fine. Good luck. But right now, you're going to fucking tell me because I haven't posted on my account enough that you're going to take away my eligibility to make any money. Even if I decide to come back. Doesn't matter how many subscribers you have. Doesn't matter. We're taking it away. Now, why the fuck do you need to do that? That's my question. For what reason? What is the reason? What's the reason? I'll wait. That's right. There's no fucking reason. There's no reason. YouTube is basically telling me, hey, we know you worked really hard at one point to be able to make money on YouTube. But right now, since you're not making any money on YouTube, that means that we're not making any money on YouTube. From your account, even though your account is just sitting stagnant, you're not really taking up space, but you're also not contributing, so we're just going to fucking kick you out. What? Like, what good does it do for you? Also, let me get into this a little bit right now. Monetization, okay? We all know my YouTube account was monetized. Obviously, this video is not going to get fucking monetized because I'm cursing and I'm, kind of telling YouTube to fuck off right now. Obviously, my account was monetized. Let me tell you something about my account, okay? My account was monetized back in let's say 2019, 2020, who fucking knows, okay? I have never seen an actual cent in my bank account from my account being monetized. You know why? YouTube has a very specific way of paying you. You don't get a paycheck in the mail or anything like that. They have this thing called Google AdSense, and you make money from your Google AdSense account, which is connected to your YouTube account. Okay? My Google AdSense account will show me how much money I have made through YouTube, but I've never actually been able to transfer the funds from Google AdSense to my fucking bank. Every time that I try to do it, they need more information. They need this, they need that, whatever, blah, blah, blah. Can't fucking transfer the funds. I gave them as much information as possible. I've tried to get on the phone. I've tried emailing. I've tried all kinds of shit. So I have some money built up in my account, But the money is just like basically fucking digital currency. I've never actually seen it in my account. It's not doing anything for me. It's basically just a web address that gives me some information that pisses me off every time that I look at it, because I can't actually collect the money out of my account and put it into my bank account where I could actually use it. I was making my YouTube videos because I loved it. I loved making my YouTube videos. I felt like what I was doing was helping other people in a sense, because when I was learning something about my car, I was teaching my audience, you guys, something about the same thing, in case if somebody else had the same problem that I was having or was running into a similar issue or whatever. That's where I was with my YouTube channel. And I felt like with driving and progressing and driving and all that other kind of stuff, yeah, sure, it was helping me with my driving career because people could watch me drive online and then they would hire me to work in a movie. But the fact that I'm not taking up any extra space and you're going to take an eligibility away from me is kind of fucked, don't you think? Like, I just worked so hard for this and you're just going to take this away from me because you feel like I'm not doing enough right now? I'm sorry, what is this, an actual job where I'm checking in like 9 to 5 every single day and like I'm physically taking up space in your office and I'm not contributing as much as the next person, so you're going to fire me, basically? I'm disgusted, honestly. Like, I always made YouTube videos because I loved doing it and I love the art of filmmaking and content creation. And I love making memories and filming them and being able to look back on them. Shit, I cannot tell you guys how grateful I am for the video that I created with my best friend Tiara that I put out onto YouTube. And when she flew into California in that video that I made, I was telling her that I wasn't sure if I was going to make a YouTube video or not out of the time that she was there, because I kind of just wanted to like be with her and just experience what we were experiencing and just like focus on her being there. And she encouraged me to make the video anyway. And she was like, girl, I would love to make a YouTube video with you. Like, let's just like, fuck it. It doesn't have to be like super well organized. Like, let's just like film all the stuff that we're doing and just make a little chaos. You know, make a little chaotic video and like it'll be nice for us to look back on. I'm so fucking glad that we did that. So glad that we did that, because now she's not here anymore. Before I get emotional, let me stop talking about her. That video that we made was like, I think it was like 72 hours with some of the coolest girls that I know or something. And we got to see all of my fucking friends. We got to see my friend Narina. We got to see Colette. We got to see Hunter. We got to see Sarah. We went to go see my friend Juliet race at this track, and she like set a PB for herself. And I'm so glad that I had that. But like the fact that because I'm not currently doing exactly that, and maybe I'm taking like a little bit of a mental health break, or I'm like going through a little bit of a shift in life and I'm not really sure where my channel sits, the fact that YouTube is going to make me reapply to have what I once had is kind of fucked up in my opinion. And I understand a lot of people like have YouTube as their job, right? But like I never had YouTube as my job. If I tell you guys how much money was sitting in my Google AdSense account, I don't think it was even $1,000. Like, just fucking sitting there. That you can't, like, live off of that. You know? With the amount of videos that I made in comparison to how much money I was making. Why are you doing that? That shit don't make no goddamn sense. It doesn't make any sense to me. So, honestly, I don't really know where I stand with YouTube anymore. Like I said, I'm not going to make videos just to curate content, because to me that lessens the value of my content. And I believe in quality over quantity. And I think it's going to lessen the quality if I'm just like constantly pushing videos out. And I understand I don't have to constantly be pushing videos out for YouTube to allow me to keep my eligibility. But I don't think that I should have a minimum requirement either, especially when I put the work in to get here in the first place. And honestly, where the fuck am I? Not that far. Like, it just doesn't make any sense to me. So anyways, that was just a pretty little email that I got this morning that made me really upset. And it made me so upset that I felt the need to speak on it and talk my shit and talk to you guys a little bit. instead of doing what I was supposed to be doing today, which was recording episode 11 of my podcast. So I guess that's it. That's really all I have to say. I gave you guys a little bit of a life update, told you guys about my podcast, told you guys about what's going on with my YouTube channel. And I guess I am hoping to hear from you guys. I really hope that you guys actually commented below and let me know if you would like for me to upload the podcast episodes onto my YouTube channel. Obviously, I don't give a fuck about monetization anymore. Like, I'm over it. Like, that really just pissed me off, and like, I'm just turned off from it as a whole. So, you know, I don't really know. What I do when I'm creating is for the pure fact of creation. It's for the purpose of art, you know, and for the purpose of being something bigger and creating something beautiful and having something to look back on. It's not to make money, and it's not to get big and get famous. And I'm just grateful that people have enjoyed and love what I have created along the way. And I'm going to continue to create because that's what makes me happy, and it keeps me sane. And it really gives me a reason for living. Like, it provides me, you know, with a purpose in my life. And I don't mean to sound really dramatic when I say that, but it's true. Like, I think that all of us need something that makes life worth living and gives us a purpose and a sense of purpose, you know? So I'm going to keep doing what I'm doing. I hope you guys follow along. And I hope you guys understand. Wow, I have a hole in my sock and no one told me. I hope you guys can't see that. Can you see it? Can you see the dogs? I put socks on before I started recording this. I literally intentionally put socks on before I started recording this. That's so embarrassing. Anyways, I'm going to keep doing what I'm doing, and I really hope you guys choose to follow along. I'm going to leave my Instagram handle that I've been utilizing for the past year and a half here somewhere. Oh, shit. That's an expensive fucking lamp that I almost just ended its life. It's clearly time for me to go. Anyways, I'm going to get going, you guys. Because clearly I am... Oh, I just hit my tooth. I just hit my tooth with the podcast mic. I really got to go. Because I got to go. It's been fun. It's been great. I love you guys. I'll see you in the next one. Hopefully you follow the podcast. Listen to an episode or 2 or 10. I'm on episode 10 now, going on 11. So hopefully you get a chance to listen to URL versus IRL. I'll see you guys soon. Seriously, comment below. Let me know what you think. Follow me on my new Instagram account. Don't believe everything you see on the internet. The internet's not real. That's all I have to say. I'm going to go before I fucking ruin something. Okay. I love you guys. Bye.